Hey guys, it's Amy Twiggs with Pro Mindset Academy. Hey, today I want to talk to you guys about the idea of being realistic. Okay, I have a lot of clients who want to set these huge goals, a lot of athletes that want these big goals, and they have a tendency to set goals at such a uh, I guess time frames of when they want the goals done. They set these goals, they're excited, they're ready to go. And when they start doing the goals, they realize it's a little harder than they planned. And then they have these ideas that they're going to be able to get things done more than they actually get done. And what happens when we set goals that are huge, which we want to do, these big impossible goals, when we set these huge goals and then we give ourselves a tiny time frame to get these goals accomplished, we get discouraged. We get doubtful. We start wondering if we are capable of accomplishing such big feats, and then we just quit on our goals. And one of the things I want to talk to you about today is confidence. When you choose to set a goal and you choose to do certain things, if you make those things so big and so many things packed in such a small amount of time, that it's I don't like saying the word it's impossible, but it's very difficult to get those things done in that small amount of time. The only thing you're proving to yourself is that things are harder than they need to be. And when things are harder than they need to be, we get discouraged, like I said. What I want you to do this week is realize this kind of 80-20 rule that we've heard, that you can get 80% of your stuff done in 20% of the time instead of taking forever to get things done. Let's be more efficient. Efficiency is great. I love being efficient. I love being productive. But when we get unrealistic, where we say, hey, I'm going to get 1,000 things done in 20 minutes, then all we're going to do is beat ourselves up because we're not doing it. And we're not going to want to do it. So when you have goals of becoming stronger and faster and better and getting to these higher levels and becoming a pro athlete and becoming this coach who takes these teams to these championships, if you don't get those things done, a lot of times we put more pressure on ourselves, and then we get mad at ourselves, and then we start beating ourselves up. And I promise you, the worst way to get to where you want to go is to do it in a way that is self-demeaning, that's pulling yourself down, that's telling yourself how terrible you are all along the way. That kind of fuel is, it will get you places. There are a lot of people who get really far based on what people think on the outside is a good thing. They get really far in these goals, in these dreams, by beating themselves up. But in the end, there's no joy. And so if you're going to try to set an impossible goal and you're going to try to say that I want to get these things done in this amount of time, and then you don't get it done, and then you get mad at yourself, the more you beat yourself up, the less fulfilled you're going to feel once you receive and get those accomplishments, once you realize those goals. You don't want to get those goals just to get the goals. That's not the purpose of any goal. The goals that we set are just to see what else we can do. It's to become something bigger, to become something that we want to become, but by loving ourselves the whole way there. I know we don't like to talk about the word love. That seems so fluffy, but it's true. If you hate yourself along the way of getting these accomplishments and these goals, there's really no point to doing it at all. In the end, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel hollow. You're going to feel terrible. You're going to wonder why you're doing any of it. And all of it seems like a waste when you still are angry at the end, when you're still self-doubtful at the end, when you still feel fearful, like you're never going to be enough at the end. You get to these big goals and you still feel terrible, then you probably are doing something that's not worth doing. You've got to find out what the compelling reason is that you're doing any of it. Why do you even want to go for these goals? If you're going to do it so you think you can be happier, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Okay, I love setting goals, you guys. I set so many goals, but I have so many clients I work with who are setting goals to prove something to themselves and to other people. If the thing that you're proving to yourself is that you're better with this goal, with this accomplished goal, there's just no satisfaction there. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. But I just want you to know that today I want to be really clear with you that when you are rushing to get a result, why? Why are you rushing to get there? Why are you constraining your time to a place where you're putting a ton of stuff to get done within a small window of time? There's really no purpose unless you feel like you're missing out on something, unless you feel like there's something that will be better about you individually as a human innate person if you had this goal. And if that's what you're believing, you're not going to find satisfaction in the end. So there really is no rush. There's no time constraint. But I guarantee that if you plan on doing these things to get a result within a certain amount of time and it doesn't happen, and you start beating yourself up because you're just not a person who can get there, you think you are, you think you're committed, you think you can do these things and you just don't, you're going to start tearing yourself down. And you may still get there, but you're not going to feel good getting there. Okay? So I wanted to make sure that we're clear on that today. If you want to feel good while working on a goal, if you want to feel successful at the end of accomplishing a goal, you got to make sure you set yourself up for wins. Set yourself up for little wins. And that's what I'm talking about with the confidence. When you do something that you plan on doing, no matter what, then you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel good because you think, look, I did what I said I was going to do. That feels good. When you set yourself up to do a ton of things in a small amount of time that you're not sure that you're actually going to follow through with, you're setting yourself up to be frustrated with yourself. And that's not a very good place to come from. Set yourself up with mini wins. Give yourself a goal and plan on things that you're going to do at least 80% of the time. That's that 80-20 rule I was talking about earlier. At least 80% of the time at the beginning, do those things. Now, I personally don't love the 80-20 rule. A lot of people like that because a lot of times we're at 20-80 where we kind of plan on doing things and we do it 20% of the time, and 80% of the time we kind of slack and we justify why we don't do it and we find excuses, and that never feels very good. Okay, that decreases our self-esteem, that decreases our self-confidence. What I want you to do is try to flop that. At least set yourself up for the win 80% of the time. If you're going to set a small goal, we have a big goal, and I always say break it down to tiny goals. And when you break it down small enough that you can at least accomplish those little goals 80% of the time. I don't like to give myself a goal unless I know I'm going to do it 100% of the time, but I'm okay with the 80% window. If there's 20% of the time where I kind of slack, I'm okay with that. If I get beyond that, to me, it just means that I set myself up with too many things in a small window of time. So I have to break it down smaller. Okay. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I want you to understand confidence is trusting yourself on tiny, tiny, tiny things, not on the big goals, on the tiny steps. The way you're going to get to that big goal, that long-term dream, is breaking things down to tiny, ridiculously small, easy things that you're like, well, of course I can do that. And then if you don't do it, that's why you have me as a mental strength coach to help you realize what your brain's believing that's causing you to not want to follow through on the tiny, tiny steps, on the easy things. Okay. So number one, when it comes to setting goals, break them down small, but then I want you to break them down small enough that you're willing to do it 80% of the time. If you're not even willing to do it 80% of the time, then you got to break it down smaller. Okay. Or be realistic. Maybe you don't even want the goal. Maybe you just think it sounds nice, but maybe you really don't want to reach that goal. Okay. If you do have a goal you want to reach, find out why, break it down small, make sure you accomplish one thing at a time. Don't give yourself 10 things to do in a day. I'm going to do this by the end of the day, knowing that's going to be a lot, and you probably are not, because then the next day you're not even going to want to start. You're going to just go ahead and start with, it's not going to get done anyways. Why should I even go there? Why should I even try? It's a waste of time. I keep sabotaging myself back to what I was before. Okay, I'm not going to get to that next level. That's because you've made yourself believing that you have to accomplish all these things in a tiny window of time. All right, break it down. I like to say, don't give yourself anything that you're not going to do 100%. That is confidence. If you know you're going to do something 100%, for sure I'm going to do this no matter what, then you're going to feel really good about yourself because you know you can trust yourself. That's what confidence is, you guys. If you want to feel good about yourself, only put things on your list that you're actually willing to follow through with. If you want to feel shaky about who you are and doubt yourself, put things on there that you want, but you probably are not going to follow through with. That's going to make you think that you're not capable or that you really don't know what to do or that things are too hard. You're going to find lots of reasons why you're not enough if you do that. It's a very, very easy solution. Okay? You don't put things on your list that you're going to do unless you're going to do them. If you want to do them, great. If you're going to do them, then put them on the list. Don't put them on the list if you just want to. It's not going to give you any confidence. It's going to tear you down inside. Got it? Okay, that's what I wanted to go through today. I wanted to make sure that you guys understood clearly that if you want to have confidence, then do the things that you say you're going to do. But don't put things on your list that you kind of are like, I hope I do it. I think I'll do it. I want to do it. No, that doesn't cut it. That's not going to help your confidence. Only put it down on your to-do list, on your calendar, on your goal sheets, if you know you're going to follow through with it. If not, don't put it down. Have that big dream, break it down. But if you've broken it down to too big of chunks, then you just got to start breaking it down smaller to the point where you know 100%. That's what I say, 100%. A lot of people say, let's just get to 80%. 80% is great. Do that first. And then try to see if you can break it down small enough that you are willing 100% to at least do this tiny, tiny, tiny little thing. That's going to get you a little closer to that big thing that you do really want. It's just in your head, you're like, yeah, that's pretty far away. No, nothing's too far away. Nothing's too hard. We just haven't broken things down small enough to believe that we're capable or willing to do it. All right? You guys, can't tell you how much confidence you're going to feel. It's hard to describe when you fulfill a big goal, not knowing exactly how it's going to happen, but by breaking things down small and honoring those little things, and all of a sudden you have these big things happening. It's not the big things that matter. It's the ability to stay true to the small things that are monotonous, that are boring, that you don't want to do, but you do it anyways because you told yourself you're going to. That commitment level is the difference between where you are now and wherever you want to be. That's it. Your willingness to do what you say you're going to do and then doing it. And that's going to get you to places that are unbelievably satisfying, are unbelievably fulfilling, and they make you feel like you have tons of purpose and meaning because you're doing things instead of wishing you would do things. It's a very, very different life. All right? Does anybody have any questions? I want you to know that I truly believe in the system. I totally believe in breaking things down to the point where I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. In fact, I had a meeting this morning with a group and they said we were going to do a certain amount of things last week. Well, some people did, others didn't. And they were asking everybody, what are you guys willing to commit to this week? And I said, you know what? This is going to be a little tricky for me, but I'm willing to commit to this. And they said, well, don't worry about it. If you can't do that, I said, no. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because that's the kind of person I am. And I don't want to do it all the time, but that doesn't matter. So what? We don't want to do a lot of things. There's so many things every day that none of us want to do. Now, the difference is some people do them anyways. What kind of person are you? Are you going to find excuses as to why, well, I don't really need to. It's not going to work out. These things I didn't plan on today, so I guess I'm not going to be able to do these things. What kind of excuses do you make to make yourself feel better about not showing up for yourself? When you know you can show up for yourself, you're going to create things that you can't imagine are possible for you. And it's not about the big goals, like I said, it's about the little steps, the willingness to do things that are hard, that are not fun, that are tedious, that are inconvenient. You do that and life just opens up. Okay? All right. I hope that helps you guys with some of your goals this week. I'm going to take questions from anybody. Let me know if you have any questions right now. If not, then we're going to be done today. But I'll tell you what, I want to tell you guys a couple things. So Coach Stacy on Tuesday, she's doing the calls for exclusively for members. She's been getting through a lot of really, really good information. If you guys want to get on her calls, well, if you're a member, jump on her calls. Don't miss them. Tuesdays at 3:30 Mountain Standard Time. But we also still have the Pro Mindset Tool on Wednesday at 7 and Thursday at 1 by the other coaches. So make sure you pop on and find out what other tools they're teaching this week. We all kind of teach different ways, but lately we've been teaching different tools too during the week. Pretty soon we're all going to start teaching the same tools during the week in our own way. But right now, while you have access to all four of us during the week, try to pop on there and get some different tools to help you with your goals, whatever your goals are right now. If you don't have a goal written on your mirror, think of one today and write it down. Okay? That's going to be my challenge for you guys. If you're not working towards something, then you feel complacent. We don't want to feel complacent for very long. It starts kind of like irritating our soul is what I think. Just a little bit. Like we always want to be growing, whether it doesn't matter what it's in. It can be in your physical, in your spiritual, in your mental, in your emotional growth, whatever it is. Pick an area and keep moving. Don't sit complacent for very long. Otherwise, it really is kind of like there's something wrong here. The reason why we would feel like there's something wrong is because we're meant to grow. We're meant to create. We were created by something or someone. I believe in God. So we were created for me by God. And so I have that innate desire to create. Something great created me, and I want to create something great every day. I don't want to sit and think another day went by and I didn't even think about what I wanted to do today. I like to pre-plan what I'm going to create for the day, and maybe it happens and maybe it doesn't, but it's all just knowledge and information and data for me to see what else I want to do. I don't have to. None of us have to. To me, that's the truth that I love. We don't have to. We can sit and be complacent for as long as we want. But it's kind of fun to see what else you can create. And by the way, those of you who are in St. George area, I'm going to be performing my comedy bit. I was telling you how important I think that comedy is to our lives. We learn how to manage our emotions to get the goals we want. We learn how to feel comfortable, calm, peace. That's great. But I hired a comedy coach, and she's actually coaching in our membership now. So any of you who are on the membership, take advantage of our comedy coach, because I want to take what I feel right now and make it big. I want to be able to enjoy it on a higher level. So I asked this coach to teach me how to do a stand-up comedy bit. And we are going to be performing that. I'm going to be performing mine on July 10th here in St. George. If you're in town, get your ticket. It should be pretty fun. So been working on those comedy pieces, guys. It's super fun. Anybody have any questions? Did I even open the Q&A? Yes, I did. Okay. I don't see any questions today, you guys. I hope you're all doing great. I hope these are helping you. So we have, about the tickets. Okay, if you want to get a ticket, you know what? Email me at flippinawesomecoaching@gmail.com. I've been trying to post it on my social media where to get the tickets. You just click this link. They're super inexpensive. It's going to be fun. They're bringing in some professional guy. I am not professional. I'm just at the beginning of the, there's a couple of us who are students learning how to be comedians, which is just funny in itself. I have 7 siblings, and my siblings are all the funny ones. I'm the one that's not the funny one. So this is a good practice for me. That is a belief that I sincerely hold on to. So this will be fun. Just email me, flippinawesomecoaching@gmail.com or ProMindsetAcademy@gmail.com, and I will send you the link. Otherwise, I'll post it on the Pro Mindset Instagram and the Flippin' Awesome Coaching Instagram today. Thank you for asking. So it's at Electric Comedy, just to let you know. If you go to the Electric Comedy, I wonder if they have a page. I'm sure they do. Electric Comedy Theater in St. George is where it's going to be at July 10th. All right, you guys, start breaking down your goals, start honoring your word to yourself, increase your confidence, and you will be able to just blow your own mind. All right, have a flippin' awesome week. We will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.